Hi BookTube! My name is Sarah and welcome to the Bookish Knitter. Today I am coming to you with an announcement video, and this is to announce June's Page Count Reading Challenge. We had so much fun on my Discord in May. You guys all really seem to like it. Thank you so much to everyone who participated. Even if you weren't on my Discord and you just participated and had a good time trying to get, reach your page count goal for the week, that's all that matters. So this month will be June the 18th through the 24th. So it's the last full week of June, because I know a lot of people mentioned they really liked the fact it was at the end of the month to kind of get that push to read books, like to finish all those books off for month end. So yeah, that is the dates for this readathon. Readathon. And there's no prompts. I've decided not to do prompts. I was thinking about it. I'm like, nobody really did anything with the prompts, so I'm just going to scrap that. But for those of you who might be new and you might be wondering, what is the Page Count Reading Challenge? It was an idea born from a group of Instagrammers that I follow, and I'll leave link to all of those ladies below. So a couple times a year, they do these 1,000-page reading challenge, where for a whole week, you try and read 1,000 pages. And the idea was kind of born from that. I used to do the Create Your Own Readathon over a 3-day weekend, which was great, kind of reading whatever you want. But in a way, this is the same thing. It's just with a page count goal in mind. Still read whatever you want, but just try and read a certain number of pages. So there are 4 tiers: 1,000 pages, 750 pages, 500 pages, and 250 pages. And a lot of people were like, oh, I'm going to go for 1,000 pages, and then like really surpass that. Or they're like, I'm only going to try for 250. And then surpass that and said, oh, I'm going to try for 500 now. So it's kind of a great push to you as a reader to try and not to like fly through books just to hit a page count goal, but to literally see how much you read in a week and see where you can carve out times to read during the day. Because there are tons of times to read during the day that I think most of us don't think about. You know what I mean? The other thing I want to talk about in this video is that the question came up on how a lot of people, or how people keep track of their pages in a month. So I thought I would share with you my ways of doing it. And then if you want to do this yourself, fantastic. If you have your own way, please share it in the comments below and let us know. So I did use, or I do have, I should say, the Bookly app, which is a great little app, and I like it a lot. The thing is, you're kind of tied to it. So if you're reading, so what it's great for is, like, if you are the kind of person, and I am this person to an extent, but I've noticed even over the last month or so that this is starting to change. So if you're the kind of person who's like, okay, I've got 2 hours tonight and I'm going to read, or you're in a reading sprint and you've got 40 minutes to read, you turn on the timer on the Bookly app and you read. Physically, digitally, audio, does not matter, you read. And when you're done, you have the option of either putting in a page count that you got to or the percentage. So like, if, let's say it was page count. So you type in, like, I got to page 56. And when you started reading at that point, you're on page 20. So it'll tell you that you read, my math is horrible, is that 36 pages? That you read 36 pages in that 40 minutes, which is great. So you've kind of got that now written down. The Bookly app is not great for people who read bits and pieces on the go. So this is the one thing I'm starting to notice that I'm starting to do now that I wasn't doing before, which is why the Bookly app isn't working as well for me anymore in this aspect. Because, like, for example, today, the day that I'm filming this, which is actually Saturday, I had to go and visit the vampires, as I like to say, and get some blood work done. So I had a little bit of time to read in the waiting room. So it was maybe 3 or 4 minutes. Pulled out my Kindle, or my Kobo, and I turned it on and I started reading, and I think I got through like 4 pages. Now, if I had to, like, turn on the app, press the button, then they call me and they're like, hey, go to room 1. Now I've got to pause the app or turn it off, look at my bed, whatever. In that aspect, for those people who read little bits here and there, if you're reading in line at the checkout at the grocery store, this is not going to work for you. But again, if you're the kind of reader who sits and like has a dedicated amount of time that they read, Bookly app might be for you. I'm finding more and more it's not for me, and I'm actually trying to experiment. For the entire month of June, I'm not going to use it and see what I think. And guys, we're only a few days in, to be completely honest. And so far, actually, I started at the tail end of May, to be honest. I started like the last week of May, and I'm kind of loving not feeling tethered to it as a reader, because that's how I was feeling. So the other thing, though, is a spreadsheet that I have been using for like 3 years now, maybe. So I'm going to link it below. Okay. It's not my spreadsheet. I did not create the spreadsheet. I have modified the bejesus out of it for me. But the original spreadsheet comes from Little Book Owl. So I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with Little Book Owl. She has been around forever. She is a longtime booktuber. And she actually was one of the co-creators in a way of the Let's Read spreadsheet with Brock. Those of you who might use that massive spreadsheet, to keep track of your reading year to year. But this is what is it called? Is it called the Reading/Readathon Tracker? So I'm not even going to try and explain this thing because it's ingenious. I've got the video link below. Go watch her video, download the sheet to Google Docs, and have at it, you guys. It's fantastic. So the basic idea of this spreadsheet is that you type in the title of your book, like you need to look at it. So like, for example, there's a column so you type in the title of the book, and then you type in how many pages the book has. Let's make math easy and say it's got 400 pages, okay? So you go through the day and whatever, and the way that I use it is that, okay, so by the next morning, when I get up, one of the first things I do is I make my coffee, and I sit and I update this spreadsheet. And I love it, guys. It makes me so happy to do. I like routine. I'm a routine person. So some people might find it too fiddly. I love it. So that book that I was reading, that's 400 pages. So, I had started it the day before, let's pretend, and I checked the book and I'm like, oh, I got to page 150. So in the first day, I type 150. And then it tells me that I read 150 pages yesterday. So then today, I continue to read said book. Let's pretend it's this book, Aggie Morton. So I continue to read this book, and let's say I get to 250 pages today. So tomorrow morning, I go up on the app, and I type in for day 2, or the second, or whatever day of the month it is, 250 pages. And then it does the math for you to tell you that you read 100 pages yesterday, but now you've read a total of 250 pages for the whole. So, and you can have multiple books going, you guys. Like, I think she gives you enough space for like over 60 books in a month, and she gives you space, okay? So there is that part of it. There are other parts of the spreadsheet, again, please go watch the video, where it will calculate the pages for an audiobook. Ingenious. So, for example, for an audiobook, there's a special sheet at the back that, like, you have to figure out the minutes, though. That's the one thing. So, like, for audiobooks, let's say your audiobook is 10 hours long. 10 hours long at 60 minutes, an hour, because that's how many minutes are in an hour. I went to school, So it would be 600 minutes. So you type in 600 minutes so it's this little box, right? Type in 600 minutes. Then you would go on, I use Goodreads, right? Go on Goodreads, find that book, and find the page count for the Kindle edition. That's just what I've always done. It's the easiest. So then let's say the Kindle edition says it's got 385 pages. So then in the next spot, you type in 385 pages. So then at the end of the day, and this is on a separate sheet from the main sheet, right? But it's just a way to figure out your page count for an audiobook. You don't have to do this. If you just figure out I'll get back to that. I'm jumping all over the place. So let's say at the end of the day, you read 2 hours on that audiobook. So that's 120 minutes. So you then type in 120 minutes where it tells you to, and it tells you what page you're on in the book. The math, like, this girl is good. My math skills are nowhere near 1 + 1. That's my math skills, to be honest. But Little Book Owl has done a brilliant job on this. So the other thing is, if you don't want to do that with the audiobook, it can be a little bit of work, you know what I mean? But the only place that this doesn't work is freaking Audible. And it drives me crazy that Audible does not give you a percentage that you're through the book. I hate that. You used to be able to do it. Now you can't. Audible, WTF. Can you fix that, please? Because I think a lot of people would love to have that feature back. Every other audiobook provider has that, except for you all. Anyway, sorry, rant over. Let's say you're listening to something on Hoopla, and it says you're 35% of the way through the book. Again, you can go to, I always pick the Kindle edition because it's just the easiest. Again, let's say that it's 385 pages on the Kindle edition. If you go on Google and you type 35%, use the percent sign, of 385, it will tell you what page you're on. So you just plug that into the spreadsheet. Again, go watch the video, you guys. Your minds will be blown if you have not seen this sheet before. I live in it. I have my personal template because, like I said, I have edited mine out the wazoo. It really doesn't even resemble, other than the first page that has like all the books across the top and then your days along the side to plug in. That's the only bit that still is original to the sheet. That and the second page, which is like another kind of like to see what books you've been reading. Anyway, it's a thing. Check it out. Other than that, I have modified it in lots of different ways, and you can do it yourself once you download the sheet from her. Just don't mess up the math. Like, that's why I haven't really changed the first page, because I don't want to mess up the math, because she has done a brilliant job with it. So I am no way an expert, but if you go ahead and download the sheet and you do have any questions, I am happy to answer them to the best of my ability. So please go check that out. So anyway, I just thought I'd share that with you guys because I know a lot of you were asking how you keep track of the pages, because a lot of people don't do that. They're just reading for the day. They don't remember where they started, but you don't have to remember where you started with this spreadsheet. All you have to do is remember where you ended, and just open up the book. I'm at page 150. Okay, type in 150, and the math is done for you, which is brilliant. So anyway, I am getting rambly. I just thought I'd share that with you guys. But yes, the June page count challenge the page count reading challenge is coming back for June. I plan to do this every month because I think we're all having a lot of fun with it. And again, it's June 18th through the 24th. And again, the link to that video and spreadsheet from Little Book Owl will be below, so please go check it out. And until my next video, everybody, take care and happy reading. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye, guys.